Yes, a fighting game on the channel. Gosh, this happens so rarely, and not only a fighting game, one that harkens back to the 90s classics like Fatal Fury and Street Fighter. Today we're reviewing Pocket Bravery. Now don't let the echo chamber punch you in the face with toxic scores and clickbait titles. Head on over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames to gain Discord access, early versions of shows, and so much more. Now I feel like this review had to fall to me because I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm the only one on staff who at one point owned a Neo Geo Pocket Color, King of Fighters R2, and Pocket Fighter. You can't not think of those three products when looking at the adorable chibi art style of Pocket Bravery. And oddly, I didn't realize this was something that I missed. But make no mistake, Pocket Bravery isn't just a nostalgia cash grab gimmick. This is actually a really fun and well-made fighter in its own right. The first thing that jumped out at me with Pocket Bravery was just how much content it includes immediately. No weird ads built in asking me to buy more crap, no story mode to be added later. All of the modes fighting fans would expect are present here, no strings attached. The developer has stated that there is DLC on the way, including more characters, stages, songs, and arcade endings, but out of the gate, you're getting a lot of content here, so even if you never purchased any of that stuff, this is a great value. Let's go over some of those modes. You have a story mode, arcade, versus, online play, some extras such as survival, time attack, and even trials to be completed. But wait, there's even more. You have a built-in tutorial to show you the ropes, a combo factory to practice up, a gallery where you can view art and other unlockables, and a shop to purchase things using points that you earn by playing. Now that's what I'm talking about. But let's start with that story mode where Nuno serves as the lead character. I was honestly really impressed with just how much story there is here, with some really lovely artwork to progress that story forward. It kind of plays out like another tutorial and shows you the ropes for a lot of it, but there are some fun encounters. In fact, in this mode you get to fight more than one enemy on screen at once, which is pretty cool, but more importantly, there are unlockables just for completing this mode, so it's definitely worth playing through. As for the story itself, it's okay, but I can't deny a good deal of effort went into creating this story mode, so hats off. The arcade mode is more or less what you would expect. You'll battle through 8 stages and hopefully emerge victorious. This mode will present you with unique endings for each character, which are also really well drawn. I loved when the classics did stuff like this, and I still love it in Pocket Bravery. Obviously, versus, online, and the other modes are pretty self-explanatory, but you're probably saying, cool modes and all, Joe, but how is the actual fighting? The answer? Way better than I expected. Pocket Bravery can easily be enjoyed by casual fighting fans or button mashers alike, but also features enough intricacies where more hardcore fighting game players will at least be able to respect it. Initially, Pocket Bravery will feel like any other 2D fighter. Move and jump about, tap forward twice to run, crouch, and block by holding back. But do know you'll need to block low as well, depending on the type of attack being thrown your way. You do have a shield next to your life bar, which is a little bit different from some fighting games. The more you block, the more it wears out. Once that shield breaks, you guessed it, you're wide open to damage. As for offense, you have 4 standard attacks, which are light and heavy punches and kicks. Landing enough attacks in succession will eventually stun your opponent, and then you have throws and even the ability to escape throws as well. Then we get into some of the more advanced features that hardcore fighting fans will appreciate. Quick recovery from hits, special moves with all sorts of diagonal inputs and button combinations, and of course your power gauge. Fill it up, and yes sir, you can pull off some of the cooler screen-filling attacks in the game. And there's one particular attack, if your health is, I believe, 30% or so, you pull this off, it looks like an animated cartoon come to life. Really quite impressive to watch, and they do plenty of damage as you would expect. So I'm not going to go into every detail here, but Pocket Bravery has plenty of tutorials, some really cool combos, and more deep mechanics if you wish to dedicate yourself and learn them. There's also a built-in move list that you can pull up anytime throughout battles, so you don't really have to worry about memorizing things, though I'm sure if you play enough, they'll eventually stick in your brain. The bottom line is, this is a really fun game to play for any skill level. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's the best feeling fighter in the world and all the hitboxes are perfect and so on, but What I can say is, as a casual fighting fan, I really did have a blast. The roster of 13, a few of which will need to be unlocked, may feel a bit skimpy, but all the characters feel really unique from one another, and like I mentioned earlier, there's going to be more DLC characters down the road, I believe 8 in total, so that's quite a few more. I loved using almost every character that's available now though, feeling the influence of old games like the Darkstalkers series or Street Fighter 2. I know I named 2 Capcom ones there, but you get the point. From the brute Arshavin, the Zangief of this game, to the gothic Shemna, I think that's how you say it. Shemina. We'll go with Shemina. The announcer says it, I don't know. These characters are all a blast to use with unique specials and animations. I really like this cast quite a bit, and it was just cool to see some new blood. You're also getting 20 stages at launch, which is quite a few, and there's a good variety to those levels. They'll take you everywhere from Nigeria to China. It doesn't hurt that Pocket Bravery is just so charming to look at. The excellent pixel art animates so fluidly, like I mentioned. The backgrounds are halfway decent looking, and the presentation in general really impressed me more than I was expecting. I think I just really liked the art direction. It worked for me. And I got a kick out of seeing little chibi fighters again, who are both fierce and adorable looking all at once. And then the soundtrack rocks pretty good too, with some cool stage themes that are unique for each character. You can also listen to this music on the menu. I really felt like I was in an old school arcade with the echoey narrator, the shredding guitars, and the crunchy sound effects. Pocket Bravery delivers in both the visual and audio department. As far as options are concerned, you have your standard sound setting, a few languages to select from, you can change the resolution and add a few filters if you wish, but there's nothing too major here. The most disappointing aspect of my time with Pocket Bravery was that I couldn't get it to run on my Steam Deck. With a name like Pocket, I thought for sure I'd be enjoying it on my favorite handheld, but instead I got a black screen every time I tried to boot. Now, initially it was just a black screen, but after one patch, I did get some sounds, so they're making progress here maybe, and I imagine at some point this will be playable on Steam Deck, but right now I just couldn't get it to work. But let me know in the comments below how that progresses or if you got it to work. Hopefully there's a fix on the way, and you won't have to wait too long for good Steam Deck support. With a good deal of unlockables, a solid fighting engine, great visuals and audio, and plenty of modes, Pocket Bravery is a lovely fighter that might look cutesy from the outside, but packs one heck of a punch. It doesn't reinvent the genre, but I really did have a great time playing, and look forward to adding it to my fighting game rotation. This is a game I can recommend for both casual fighting game fans and more hardcore ones.